You're listening to Where You Live with Gene Sullivan.
Welcome back to Where You Live. I'm Gene Sullivan, broadcasting from the True North Painting Studios. The show's brought to you by Extreme Exteriors and American Family Insurance, the Kim Bennett Agency. As an American Family agent, Kim believes that there is so much more to insurance than the policy itself. It's about providing you with dependable protection and services. Kim believes that trust and credibility can't be demanded. It only can be earned by what you say and what you do. Give her a call at 651-482-1598 and tell her Gene sent you. It's time now to hear from the Minnesota Multi-Housing Association. The MHA Minute is brought to you by Start to Finish Maintenance Contractors. Start to Finish provides 24-hour service for all your home and business maintenance needs. Call Start to Finish at 952-259-1219 for your home, for your business, for your peace of mind.
Did you know that the top reason renters do not renew their leases is not because of rent increases? The biggest complaint among renters and the most important gauge of renter satisfaction is how the management responds to maintenance requests. Responding to maintenance calls quickly and effectively makes for happy residents. Happy residents make for reduced turnover. Reduced turnover makes for better cash flow. That's just one of the hundreds, thousands of things you can learn from the Minnesota Multi-Housing Association, the best, most comprehensive resource in the state for owners of everything from a duplex to hundreds of units, and for townhome and condo associations as well. MHA holds 135 different classes each year for owners and on-site staff, including in-depth certification courses for maintenance and management professionals. In fact, the most widely recognized certifications for apartment industry professionals across the United States were designed right here in Minnesota by MHA. Find out more by visiting mmha.com. That's two M's, mmha.com.
During our last segment here, we're going to be turning our attention now to the great state of Idaho. The state legislature is in session there. There is a state senator who feels that homeowners in HOAs do not have a lot of protection. From what he refers to, he thinks that the fines that they receive are arbitrary, and because of that, are more punitive than they need to be. And so he wishes to have a bill to address that. And we're talking about State Senator now Jim Rice from Boise, Idaho. And he said that he has received a complaint from a constituent in his area, a teacher who lives in his district, who was especially aggrieved after what she said was a real head-butting time with her neighborhood's association board this last summer because of the issue of her lawn. And Rice wants to force HOA boards in the entire state that before you have the ability to fine someone for a violation, and this could be on anything, whether it's parking, whether it is on not picking up, for example, in the summertime, people will have a portable swimming pool for kids out on the lawn, and it stays out, and then the grass is killed underneath it. And those are issues of concern that other homeowners have, and so there's violations, there are fines that HOAs have, and that's their only method for trying to get people to be able to adhere to the rules so that most people can live in peace with one another. But he feels it's going to be necessary now that an HOA board cannot do that on their own. What they must do is they must call all the homeowners in the association together, and they must have a majority vote before a fine can be handed out. And then, of course, before that takes place, there needs to be a 30-day written notice of that meeting to all homeowners. Can you imagine that? He said this bill the way he has it written, is going to help make a good faith effort, quote unquote, to resolve the problem. We're using that word good faith. I guess that must be the new word of the session for people in state legislatures everywhere. In Minnesota, people have to provide good faith, and so the association has to show good faith. What does that mean? And the idea that he has one constituent. Think about it. One constituent who is upset over the issue with their homeowners association. And it says that this person received a letter. It doesn't even say that the person necessarily even received a fine that we know of. But that was enough to be able to say, oh, HOA boards, they have just gone overboard here, and so we need to kind of rope them in here. And one way to do that is before a fine goes out, you've got to get all homeowners together and let everybody vote whether or not to give a fine. Can you imagine the process if that took place? If you want to see a hung jury, if you want to see people who are going to be upset, that's what you need to do. Make something that's a small issue. Someone isn't parking correctly, and instead of giving them a notice and then maybe giving them a $25 fine, have them march in front of all the other homeowners. And guess what? You're going to have other homeowners who will say, by gosh, I've gotten fines in the past. We're not going to let this person off the hook. So if you think you're going to make things, you're going to lessen things, that you're going to give good faith and goodwill a try here, I think you're going to gin things up a lot more and getting people really angry and upset with their homeowners. This idea that there needs to be this type of regulation. It's interesting. I think he went on to say that he feels that there's almost no regulation to a homeowners association. That's why this bill is needed. Is that really true? No regulation in a homeowners association? How about the fact that there's governing documents? And those were governing documents that everybody read and said we're going to abide by before they purchased their home in that association. How about the idea that a homeowners association has the consent of the governed, the same as the state legislature or the federal government? The people that are on the board are elected because they were given the authority and by the other members of the association to act in the best interests of the HOA. And they are there not doing something arbitrary, but they want to see the governing documents held to so that everybody is treated in a fair way, in a fair manner. How about the idea that there's state statutes that go even above all of this? How about the idea that there's a private contract law that's put together, as I already mentioned, to say that HOAs have no regulation and they need this type of additional law put in place? I think is really ridiculous. The bottom line here is, shouldn't legislators be required to live under the same laws that they create for others? Something that they ought to think about in Idaho. Well, hey, that's all the time that we have for today's show. I'm so glad you took time to join me. Have a great rest of the weekend, and I hope to have you here listening next Saturday on Where You Live.